So I wish everyone a happy new year, and perhaps the sudden realization that there is no self in this body, just the body, or just God, right? It's not a realization that we can make happen, that we can create. It simply happens on its own. One can call it grace, but it's beyond even grace because practice doesn't really create it, can't do anything about it. And the human way of seeing things is usually, what can I get out of this no self realization? Which is fine. I understand and I respect the human very highly. I love the human just as much as I love God. And what I've noticed in my life is that when I dropped the personal sense of being a person, so to speak, life supported me in many more ways. It seems like life has some kind of intelligence to wake us up. So we could say that God is the most intelligent being in the universe. And since we've been here for 7 seconds on the scale of the universe, really, we should be humble and we should be grateful to be here and leave the results to Him, knowing that I'm not the doer of my actions. I'm simply an instrument of His grace, right? I know how the human works. So even with this no self-realization, it will ask, will this help me have a better life experience? That's the human orientation. And I understand it. I have my plans, I have my desires. All of that is natural. We should never repress them. Simply see that it's not your desires, it's life's desires. Life's flowing, life being itself through you. So in that way, you can be invested 100% in your life, leaving the results to God, and the sudden realization that there's no one in this body might help you in your human life, because it seems like, again, our life supports this movement. And when we are very identified with a person, have you noticed that you don't get the results that you want? Because God is very smart. So He's saying, hey boy, first you need to let go of the person, then you'll get what you need. First seek the kingdom, said Jesus, and then everything shall be given to you. But we want everything except the kingdom. So if there's no self in this body, that's the greatest realization that can happen, apparently, in your being. And this usually gives a better human life experience. Sometimes not. But it can't make it worse than when you were a person. That's for certain. You can trust me about that. Because have you noticed that your desires don't get fulfilled more when you are there, when you are attached to the results? In fact, they tend not to get they tend not to happen. They tend not to get solved, achieved, when you are very attached to the results. Because God, life has this kind of intelligence in this play, in this lila, and he's doing everything he can to show us that we're not the doer, we're simply an instrument of his actions. And the more we can see that, the easier life tends to be. And usually you also have a better human life experience, but don't try to look for it either, right? Just see what is here. It's just a remembrance. Oh yeah, always been here. That's all. I wish everyone a very happy new year. Do your best, 100% always, never less. But don't forget, you're not the doer of your actions. He's the only doer in the universe. Thank you.